Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully designed our import permission page, right? And also there is a two option as I told you here. Right now I want to download, that means I want to export all that our permission, that means here that is I have already created some of the permission. Now that will be export all that our permission. Okay, so here if you want to export it, if you go to that our package, now that will be very clear. Here there is another option for the export. So first of all I want to complete that our export part, and here if you go to that 5-minute quick start, here first job is we have to run this command. Okay, I show you, like I copy this our command, and then we have to do here I want to paste it. So that will be as a PHP artisan make export. That means it will be now create one of the export, one of the folder, this type of one of the functionality, and what type of name you want to add, you can actually add it. So first of all I want to update it. I want to name it like as a that will be for the permission export. I name it as a permission. Okay, permission export. Now this type of one of the file I want to create, and our model. That means right now you want to access our which model. I want to access that our permission table, right? So for the permission table, that is also one of the default model as a permission model. Okay, here it will be actually depends on you what type of, before I have already created multiple model, right? Here if you go to that our model, because here we are using that eloquent ORM, and into the model I have created multiple model, you can see. So if you want to create this type of one of the functionality, that means export and import functionality for education purpose for the amenities. So here I have already created this model name as a amenities, right? If you also want to add some of the export or import functionality for the property, then I have already created one of the model as a property. So right now I want to access our permission model. So that will be our permission. I want to access it. So that will be our model name. I want to do that will be model, and model will be, you can see by default they are suggested as a user. So now I want to access that our permission model, right? Because I want to export all the data from to our permission table. So if you want to access that our permission table, we can actually access it by this model as a permission. Now if you click as a enter, now you can see it's now successfully created one of the export folder in our app, and now I just put that name as a permission export. Now it's created as a permission export.php. Now if you go to that our project, and now in our app area, okay, so into the app if you go, now you can see it's now created one of the new folder as export, and now that is created also another one as a permission export. And into the permission export here, there I have actually accessed that our permission model, and you can see by default that is actually getting our app models and permission. As I told you, if you want to create some of the same functionality for our different model that I have already created, but that is the permission model. Right now we are using that our SPIT permission, right? So for the reasons here, you can see our permission will be now that should be comes from the SPIT permission models, or rather than when you want to access it for the property, then simply it's automatically that will be get it from our models and our property model, right? But right now I want to access that our permission that should be comes from to the SPIT permission models and then permission. So make that sure here you have to update it. Okay, I simply updated our permission. Now that is will be get our all that permission. Perfect. So that is our first job here we successfully created. And now if you go in our import permission, into the import permission, like here that is our download Excel, right? So I want to create another new route. I name it as export. Okay, I name it as export. Now this type of one of the route I want to create in our web.php. Here better after that I copy it and I want to paste it. Our name, I name it as a export. Our URL will be as a export. Our name route will be as a export. Now I want to create another new method as a export. Okay, now this type of one of the method I want to create it in our role controller. So now if you go to that our role controller, into the role controller area here, after that I want to name it as a public and then function, and our method name will be as a export. Great. So here now we have to first of all return it. I want to return, so that will be the return, and return, now that will be return our which things. If you go our references, you will be also get some of the things in here. like here you can see now that will be return our Excel. That will be return our Excel, the same things. Okay, and I want to better copy it. I copy it, now I want to simply paste it. Now that will be our Excel. So when you access that our Excel, then we have to also load it. That means here that will be as a made website, Excel, facets, and Excel. We have to support it. I want to simply support it in here. I simply support. Okay, friend, great. And then I want, that is in our Excel, that is also another default function as a download. And with this download, now I want to create that object for our export that I have created. I have already created our export name. Our name, I name it as a permission export, right? So now that will be as a permission export. And then I want to name it. That means what type of Excel format. If you want to create that CSV file, simply added that extension as a CSV. But right now I want to download it as the Excel format. For the reasons here, I want to name it, that will be named as a permission. Okay, permission.excel. So this type of one of the name, by this name it will be downloaded. And here also I have used it as a permission, right? So if you want to access that permission export, also you have to support it. So right now that will be comes from, so that is our use, that will be comes from our which place, that will be in our, okay, I want to support that our app, and backslash our, after that, that is a folder name as the exports, and that is our permission, right? So I want to access it, that will be the exports, and then backslash our file name as a permission export. Okay, here I simply support it, that is a app export, and that is a permission export. I simply support it. Now we are able to access that our export. Now you can see that is our permission export. I have already loaded that our Excel. Great. So now that's all. Now that should be download. And now if you go to that our permission export, and here you can see, friend, I have already updated that our permission. Now that will be get our all data. So I show you, like right now, if you click as a save all, and now if you run as a PHP Artisan optimize, everything will be very clear. Don't worry. Now I want to check it. If you now go to that our panel, I want to refresh it. Okay, I want to refresh, and now if you press as a download here, yes, you can see, friend, now that is successfully download one of the permission Excel file, and that is also opening. It's now successfully downloaded. That means if you go to my download, okay, into the download, you can see it's now successfully download that as a permission dot on the Excel file. Okay, sorry, here I want to, and also you can see it's opening in here. If you go now, that is successfully download. Now here, now you can see it's now successfully download that our permission, and that is actually our permission table, all data. Perfect. You can see it's now successfully get all the data from to our database, and that is our ID. ID is successfully get, and that is all that our permission name is successfully get. That things in here, our by default name is display, or that means the guard name, and that is our group name, right? And also it successfully get that our created at, updated at. Great. So if you go our database, you can see it successfully get that our total ID, the total name, the guard name, and then group name created and updated that, right? Great. So now it successfully download all that our existing data to our Excel format, right? So now, friend, if you want to customize it, like if you don't want to get that as an ID, because ID field will be not needed, I want to only get that our permission name, and also I don't need that our, that is a web guard, right? So that is our guard name. I don't need this guard name. I only need that our group name, and created at, updated at, everything will be not needed. So if you want to customize it, you can also customize it. How to do this work? In that case, you can do this work in our permission export that I have created, and into this position right now, it's getting all the data in our collection. It's now getting all the data. From here, you can actually select it. Like I want to add that as a select. Okay, that will be as a select. So that is a select, and select our which field name you want to get. Like here you can see it's now getting that ID, name, web name, that is our group name, created and updated at everything. But right now I want to select it like as a, I only want to get that name field, and also I want to get that only our group name field. Okay, so right now I want to customize it. I want to select only that our name field. it will be get that only the name field, and also I want to get another field as a group, okay, group name. So that is the two of this field name I want to get. So now that will be actually customizing. Now it will be get only that name and then group name from our permission table. Let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now I want to right now close it. Okay, close it. And now let's check this out. If you go, I want to refresh it again. Okay, and now I want to download that Excel file. Now that is downloaded again. If you go here, you can see now that is a new one is successfully downloaded. That is a permission one, because of all before I have already downloaded one as a permission Excel, and permission Excel actually is getting that name from here, because here I have also named it as a permission Excel, right? Now our file, now I want to open that file. Okay, I want to open it. Yes, you can see friend, now it's only get that our name field, and also it's only get our group name, right? Because of all here I have already selected two of this field. Here I have selected that a specific field that will be download as a name, and also that is our group name. So you can see it's now successfully get two of this field data. So that is our name data, and also it successfully get only our group name data. Okay, so how to customize it, that means how to export all that your database table data. Okay, how to export it. I hope it's very much clear to you. So in our next video, I want to import it. Okay, so here right now in our Excel file area, if you want to import some of the data, and after that here you just selected that file and upload it, then that will be insert this data in our database, and also it will be displayed in here. Okay, that means if you go to our all permission, right now that is our all permissions, in particular that position this data is also will be able to add it. Okay, so how to do this work, but I want to continue this process in our next video. I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.